Namaste people, I am Anmol Sarkar. So if you guys have seen my introduction video, you guys must have an idea about who I am and what I am trying to do and what this channel is all about. So without wasting any further time, let's get straight down to today's topic. And before doing that, please like and subscribe my channel so I can come up with more such informative videos for you guys. And those who have not seen my last video, I will share for Facebook, I will share the link of the video in the comment section, and for YouTube I will share the link in the description below. Okay, so please watch that video and let's get started now. So in last video we studied that how Risley, a powerful British colonial administrator, used Max Muller's work and did the 1901 census and further solidified the caste system and used science to propagate that. And we have also seen what Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar also had to say regarding it, and in today's video we will start from that topic only and what Babasaheb Ambedkar said about it and how it triggered a chain of events which led to the current political scenario, and in what is the position of this the race theory and the caste system in today's political scenario. Okay, so Dr. Ambedkar says that the measurements establish that the Brahmins and untouchables belong to the same race. Okay, the measurements mean the anthropomology and the nasal index which Risley used. That measurements he is talking about. The measurements establish that the Brahmin and the untouchables belong to the same race. From this, it follows that if the Brahmins are Aryans, listen carefully. From this, it follows that if the Brahmins are Aryans, the untouchables are also Aryans. If the Brahmins are Dravidians, the untouchables are also Dravidians. If the Brahmins are Nagas, the untouchables are also Nagas. Such being the facts, the theory means the race science caste system theory must be said to be based on a false foundation. This last sentence is very important. Such being the facts, the theory must be said to be based on a false foundation. Now we will come to the today's topic. Now after he made this statement, it triggered a chain of events from 1950s to the current political scenario. So when Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar rejected this race theory and caste system, calling it as false, based on false foundations, a chain of events started. So we will see what this chain of events started. Okay, in 2001, Michael Bamshad, the name is Michael Bamshad of the Institutes of Human Genetics, University of Utah. Okay, now see how this lobby is getting activated to disapprove this theory. Okay, what Babasaheb Ambedkar said. Michael Bamshad of the Institution of Human Genetics of University Utah studied the genetic makers of the caste groups from Visakhapatnam district and compared them to various castes and regional groups of India as well as Africans. So means he is trying to again validate that theory. He is trying to take caste genes from the Dravidians and he is trying to match it with the genes of all over India. Okay, regional group of India as well as Africans, Asians, Europeans. Bamshad announced that the genetic distances between the upper, middle and the lower caste are significantly correlated with the rank. Rank means upper caste, lower caste and all, Brahmins and the Dalits, which is a very false theory. And we will come to that in 2016 in Rakhigari excavations what we have found. For now, just remember this is a false theory. The genetic material all over people of all over India is the same and it does not collide with those of Europeans or Africans. Okay, that proves that the Europeans or Africans did not come to India. Rather, Indians went outside for trade and all. We will come to that in the later part of this video. Okay, so this was the ghost of this Risley's nasal index based on Max Muller. It has not died till now. Okay, many of them have claimed that this is a false theory, but the ghost of it has not died now. Today's current lobby, which we call as the Lutyens lobby or the famous human rights lobby or those race scientists who are masquerading as human rights activists, they are using that Risley's work to again differentiate between these. This was reminiscent of Risley's nasal index, as I have said, that as the scientific proof that Aryans originated caste in India. It triggered an avalanche of enthusiasm, all we know that. So this human rights activists who were keen to prove this Risley's theory right, what they did is they started studying, and one of them is Anil Ananthaswamy brought the conclusion wholesale and wrote provocatively titled article Written in Blood. The name of the article is Written in Blood in the prestigious New Scientists, where Bamshad conclusions upper caste Indians are genetically more Europeans, while members of Indian lower caste are more other, says an international team of researchers. Despite of this thing, so means he tried to more propagate or solidify this theory into the psyche of India, which is wrong. Okay, now what he said that this Anil Ananthaswamy and along with Robert Hartgrave as an authority, he said that based on such evidence, listen to this very very carefully, based on such evidence, more historians believe that the waves of Indo-European speaking people from Eastern Europe and the Caucasus means the Caucasian peoples, okay, people belonging to the Caucasian tribes or the people who speak Caucasian language, has set up the caste system as they moved to the Indian subcontinent. The Aryan has come, okay, about 5,000 years ago. When the Aryan came in, they brought with them the social hierarchy, says Hartgrave. We have some historical and archaeological evidence which suggests that the Aryans came in, they intermarried with the indigenous people, as I have said, they had children, white people had children with the local natives and all, and we have discussed it in the Aryan invasion theory, and also absorbed many of their system in ranking. This is false. Okay, I will tell you why it is false. This was done in 2001 to 2010. Okay, so in 2016 new evidences came out, which we will go see in the later part. In India, Frontline framed the results politically and reported, means in the Frontline activists and the historians and journalists started propagating this theory who are connected to this lobby, so that they can influence the voting patterns in this country towards the left. Okay, now they reported that in recent times, with the rise of strident nationalism, this was written by the Frontline framed politicians and these journalists. In recent times, with the rise of strident nationalism in the form of Hindutva ideology, okay, listen to this very very carefully. In recent times, with the rise of strident nationalism in the form of Hindutva ideology, which rejects the premise that Aryans were outsiders and views them as the continuum of the Indian Indus Valley civilization, an univocal answer to this may have political implications. This is written, okay. While material evidence of the ancient history has not been able to resolve this issue, it has resolved this issue. I will tell you how. The issue of the modern population genetics, based on the analysis of various variations in DNA in the population sets, has tools to provide a more authoritative answer. Means they are trying to invoke a very, what we say, invoke a process, in a scientific process in which they can prove that their theory is right. Resuming the study is infallible, Frontline do sweeping conclusion. Now listen to this Frontline's conclusions, what they have to say. The analysis of genetic distances shows that each caste is more closely related to Eastern Europeans. Now see how they are linking it to that. Moreover, the genetic distance between Eastern Europeans and the upper caste is half distance between the middle and the lower caste of Europeans. The authors interpret that the Indian Y chromosomes, particularly upper caste Y chromosomes, being more similar to the European than the Asian Y chromosomes. Another major study followed Bamshad was done in 2004 by a team of 6 scientists, including Richard Cordox, and of Max Planck Institute of Evolutionary Anthropology. It was formulated with the specific reference to origin of Hindus. He said that the origin of the nearly 1 billion people inhabiting in the Indian subcontinent and following the customs of Hindu caste system are controversial. They derive largely from the Indian local population, that is the tribal groups, or from recent immigrants of India. Archaeologically and linguistic evidence support the latest hypothesis. Finally, this report concluded that we conclude that these are the words. We conclude that the paternal lineages of the Indian caste groups are primarily descendant from the Indo-European speakers who migrated from Central Asia 3,500 years ago, as we have discussed in Aryan invasion theory. Conversely, the paternal lineages of tribal groups are predominantly derived from the original Indian gene pool. We also provide evidence for the bidirectional male gene flow between the caste and the tribal group. That means the Aryans came and had children with the natives, and are homogeneous with respect to the mitochondrial DNA variation, which may reflect the socio-cultural characteristics of the Indian caste society. Okay, so this is how they are saying that the caste system had originated from India, and the Aryan brought this caste system from outside. Now we will see how this is wrong. In recent 2016, there was an excavation in a place known as Rakhi Ghari in Haryana. A 4,000-year-old skeleton was excavated, and the genetic tests were done in, I don't know whether it was done in Pune or Bangalore, but it was done. I can't remember the exact name of the institute, but so this, what we say, the excavation of 4,000-year-old 4,000-year-old skeleton, and the genes clearly proved that the Aryans did not come from outside India, because the Y chromosomes of the genes were completely different from those of the Y chromosomes of the Europeans or the Aryans, which they claimed in the who came from outside India, and all the genes inside India are similar to the findings of the genes of that skeleton. Okay, so it completely proves that this Aryan invasion theory is false. So if anyone asks you, please tell them these facts about Rakhi Ghari excavations and all. So this was it for today's, guys. In tomorrow's video, we will see how there were few dissenting voices who had factually countered this myth or theory, or myth we can say, and how they were suppressed by this lobby which is powerful as the human rights activists. So that was it for today, guys. Have a nice day.